Hi, my name's Mandy. Welcome along to day 6 of our 7 days of yoga. So today we're doing a little bit of a walking warrior sequence. We're going to start on hands and knees, flow through some cats and cows, a little bit of legs and backs. And then we're going to start at the back of our mat and we're going to be stepping forwards. A lot of the time in our yoga classes we start at the front and we step backwards, so opposite way today. If you make your way to hands and knees, stretching your fingers out. So you're just going to round and arch through your back, smoothing with your breath. So feel like you're pushing the floor as you round your back up, head relaxes, tailbone tucks. And as you breathe in, lift through your head, your tailbone. Exhale, rounding your back up. Maybe add in a few side to side wiggles. Maybe make it into a slightly bigger movement, a bigger range. And coming forwards. Coming back to center. And then you're going to come to sit back on your toes. So toe stand, toe stretch, toes are tucked under. Walk your hands back. If it really doesn't work for your feet, for your toes, just untuck your feet. Otherwise, sit nice and tall here. Lift your arms all that, keeping your ribs down if you can. So you're going to circle your arms back, round behind you, bringing your arms up in front. Pull your right elbow back, straighten your arm back, just looking back to your hand. Try not to allow your hips to move. And then bringing that arm forwards. And then left elbow pulls back. Straighten the left arm back, looking back to your hand for a couple of breaths. Bringing your arm forwards. Come back, hands and knees, untuck your toes, give them taps out maybe. And then again, tuck your toes under. We're going to roll back to our feet and we're going to slowly roll up to standing from here. So walk your hands back to your knees, roll over onto your feet, keeping a little bit of a bend through your knees. Nice and slowly. Roll all the way up to standing. And then making sure you're standing at the back of your mat. Coming into your mountain pose. So heels, hips, shoulders, earlobes are stacking. Let's grow tall through the top of your head. And then check any tension you're holding through your knees, your thighs, your bum. Relax. You're going to step your right foot forward. So we're coming into a warrior one. It might be a slightly shortened stance from where you normally are. So left foot slightly rotates out, right leg steps forward. The knee on top of the ankle. Sweeping your arms all the way up. Feel like your tailbone is slightly tucked, hips are facing forwards. Just take a couple of breaths here. One more breath. We can take it into our warrior three. Maybe your arms come back to your hips to start with. Take your weight to your right leg. And if you're a bit wobbly, just stay here and a slight lean forwards with your left toes on the floor. Otherwise, start to lift your left heel up. Hinge forwards, find your balance. Actively reach out through your lifted leg, your left leg. Then if you want to, bring your arms up in line with your ears. Keep the breath moving. Our left foot's going to step all the way forwards. Bring your arms back to your hips. We're going to take it into our warrior two. Back foot spins flat down, so your front heel roughly lines up with the instep on the back leg. Arms come out to shoulder level, looking down, your left fingers, right hand pulling back. Feel like you're lifting up your hips. So we're not leaning forwards, you've got your hips, your ribs, your head stacking in line. And then from there into your reverse warrior. So that left hand reaches up, right hand can rest on your leg somewhere, trying not to move through your legs. And then you're going to spin, cartwheel your arms all the way down. So we're going to come down into low lunge. So right hand comes on the floor, left arm reaches up to your ceiling. Actually reach up through your fingers, lengthen through your back and your neck. Left hand comes down. Bring your back knee down onto the floor. So we're going to take it into our cow face legs, a bit of a hip stretch. If you prefer, you can just come into cross legs. Your right foot comes over to the left edge of your mat. And then your left foot, your front foot, is just going to slide on the outside of your right leg. So your knees are crossed. Squeeze your knees together as much as you can do. And then start to sit your hips all the way back. So you're going to sit your bum down between your heels. So if this really does not work, which is fair enough, maybe just come into normal cross legs. Sit tall, have a wiggle round through your feet. You can lean forwards if you'd like to. Just for a few breaths. Note how it feels on this side with your left leg on top. So let me go the other way, see how it feels on the other side. We're going to rock it over to hands and knees. You're just going to walk your hands forward. Roll to hands and knees. Uncross your legs. So you're going to bring your left foot back up in front between your hands. And then we're going to turn around. So we're going to face the other end of our mat. So as you lift up, just going to spin your feet round. So we do our forward bend, facing the way that we've just come. Softening through your knees. Relax your neck, your head, your shoulders. And then slowly roll and restack. So we come all the way back up to our mountain pose, that neutral spine. So growing tall, heels, hips, shoulders, earlobes feel like they're stacking. Shoulders roll back and down. So you should be facing the other way on your mat. So you're going to walk back the way that we just came. We're going to come into our warrior one, so your right foot can rotate out a little bit, left foot lunges forward. And again, maybe a smaller warrior one lunge. So arms going to lift all the way up. Tailbone tucks under if you can. Feel like you're lifting out of your hips. And take a few breaths. Stretching out the right toes and the left toes. Bring your arms down to your hips. We're going to take it to our warrior three, our balance. So back heel lifts. Lean forward through the body. Maybe you stay here. Otherwise, lift your back heel up, folding forwards. A nice long line from your heel to your head. So we haven't got any broken twigs. Reaching back through your fingers. If you're nice and stable, bring your arms up in line with your ears. And then left foot steps all the way up in front. So we're going to come back to our warrior two. Just coming into your mountain pose. So a long neutral spine, heels, hips, shoulders, earlobes stacking. Feeling like you're growing nice and tall. So we're facing the opposite way, the way that we came. We're going to start with your left foot coming forwards into our warrior one. So right toes can rotate out a little bit. Remember, it's probably a shorter stance than your normal warrior one stance. So left foot comes forward. Arms lift up to your ears. Tailbone feels like it's tucking under. Body's lifting tall from your hips. Feet feel like they're squeezing into each other. You're pressing into the outside edge of your right foot and your left foot. Do one more breath. And take it into our balance, our warrior three. So arms come down to your hips, back heel lifts, lean forwards. Maybe you stay here if your balance is a bit wobbly today. Otherwise, lift your back heel up. Nice long line from your head to your heel. Reach out through your heel. And if you're nice and stable, arms can come up in line with your ears. And take it to our warrior two. So your right foot steps up in front, maybe a slightly shorter stance. Back foot slightly turning out, so your front heel lines up with the instep on your back foot. Arms come up to shoulder level. And again, hips, ribs, head, all stacking. Reach back, reaching forward, so you're looking down your right fingers this time. And without coming into a back bend, so maybe it even feels like your tailbone is slightly tucked. Into your reverse warrior, so left hand comes onto your leg, right fingers reach up to your ceiling, looking, taking your gaze up. I'm going to take it down into that low lunge. So slowly you're going to spin, cartwheel your arms all the way down. So left hand comes down on the floor, left knee can lower maybe, or keep the right knee lifted. Right arm reaches up. Bringing your right hand down. We're going to take it back into that old leg, that cow face leg. So left knee comes on the floor. Left foot comes over to the right edge of your mat, so it's going across your mat. Your front foot, right leg, and slide it back so your leg crosses outside your left knee. So your knees are squeezing together. Legs, feet rather are wide apart so you can work your way back. Sit down between your heels. Have a wiggle around, and again, if it doesn't work for you, come back into, or just come into cross legs. And then see, grow nice and tall. Do you want to stay here? Do you want to hinge forwards? Does one side feel really different than the other side? So can you remember how you felt when you faced the other way? Lengthening through your back. We're going to work our hands forward, so we're going to rock over to our hands and knees again. Uncross your leg. And then come back into child's pose. So knees slightly wide, toes together, makes it a little easier to breathe. Bring your head down. Keep walking, stretching your arms long. And taking your right hand over towards that top left corner of your mat. Your body doesn't really move too much. Bringing your hands back to center, head back to center. And then left hand works over to the top right corner of your mat. Then head moves just a little bit, not too much. Bring your hands back to center. Slowly come all the way up, round to sitting. And that's it. So thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully that was good. I shall see you for day 7 tomorrow. Grab your blocks or bolsters or cushions for tomorrow because it's a relaxing, restorative class. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.